Our budget tip is to make your savings goals fast. Now, if you've listened to the podcast for a while, you know I am a proponent of making a savings allocation plan a part of your budget. Basically, take your savings account or savings accounts if you have multiple, break them up into different goals that you're saving for. Break them up into different missions for every dollar in your savings account, kind of like what you do for your monthly budget with your income, but for your savings. That way, when you go and spend some savings on a large purchase, you know that you still have enough in savings for the other goals or the other risks that you have saved to fight against, like an emergency or your health insurance deductible. And you can spend the money that you saved up for, say, the car or the home down payment or that really fun toy that you wanted to take to the lake. And you can spend that money without feeling guilty or feeling, oh, what if we don't have enough if someone broke a leg while we're on the lake? So that's what I really like clients doing with their savings accounts, breaking them up into a savings allocation plan. Now, when you have your savings goals listed like that, you want them to be FAST. That's an acronym. Stands for Frugal, Attainable, Specific, and Trackable. FAST. So let's talk about that. You know, if you've listened to the podcast before, that frugality is the intentional practice of prudent economy. If you are intentional about your savings goals, they're going to be more meaningful to you. If you're prudent about them, they're going to make sense. And if they're economical, they'll be relatively reasonable as well. So that's F. Let's talk about A, achievable. We want to think of this as being realistic for the income that you have. If we are making $30,000 a year, trying to save up for a brand new Rolls-Royce Ghost or a classic 1960s Aston Martin DB5, well, that's probably unrealistic and not even frugal for that level of income. There are other goals that are going to probably be more achievable than that. Maybe a dream car that fits your level of income isn't the most expensive kind of car that you can buy. And we have to use our judgment on what's achievable. But if you make a savings goal that isn't actually achievable and you don't believe you can actually make it happen, do you think that goal is actually going to result in reality? Back to FAST, F-A-S, specific. We need to be as specific as possible when it comes to our particular savings allocation goals. If we're going to do a home down payment, we can say, sure, home down payment, but we need to know how much of home we want to buy. We need to know how much of a down payment we need to save for. We need that specific number. We also want to know specifically when we need that number. That way we can figure out how much we need to save every month. And that takes us to T. T is trackable. If we know specifically the number we need for each of our specific goals, and we have our monthly budget, we know how much we need to save each month in order to make it to our specific goal on a specific date. And that's part of the reason why, if you want your savings goals to become reality, it is important for you to run a monthly budget. In conclusion, today's budget tip is to make your savings goals happen fast. Frugal, achievable, specific, trackable goals become reality.